Kia ora, hi. I've been thinking about rubbish. Sometimes all we want to do is have a bit of fun, but we can create a lot of rubbish in the process. This year I've agreed to help organise our school fair, so I thought I'd go along and talk to some people who've run zero waste events and find out what I can do to reduce waste.
I operated a mobile coffee business for a number of years, and we from the beginning decided to be eco-friendly and using compostable packaging, and it was great for our business, so I'll say that first off. That's what's really important. And we just looked at the pricing. You know, some things were an extra 5 cents, an extra 10 cents, so we popped that on to the price of the things we were selling.
What have you seen in terms of the changes in waste at events? Has there been an improvement?
I think the types of waste are changing, so you are seeing more compostable containers and plastic or glass bottles as opposed to plastic coated cups that aren't useful for anything other than landfill. I do think people are getting better about that. I think there is more waste. I think people have gone away from bringing their own picnic down to an event and are starting to buy more in terms of food vendors and that kind of thing. So I think there's more waste, but the waste is changing to more sustainable types.
And is that partly because there's more variety of packaging available now?
Yes, there are. I think there's a huge amount of variety in the packaging that's available. You can go into any Moores Wilsons and they've got 7 or 8 different types of cup that you can choose from, and it's up to you which one you decide to go with.
And in general, is a compostable or recyclable one more expensive than the one that would go to the landfill?
I think compostable cups are actually about the same price as what you would find for any other non-compostable. I think the process of making them has become cheaper, which is slowly being passed on to the consumer.
The issue with a lot of food, coffee cups and food in general that people think is recyclable is the contamination. What happens is it's contaminated with food, so you've got leftover milk or chocolate in your coffee cup lid, you've got food scraps left over in your food packaging. So that has to go through a recycling. If that went off to the recycler, they would have to throw that out because it's contaminated. It can't go overseas if their products are being sent overseas to be processed, and they can't really remove it either. It's a bit of an icky, sticky job for them. So yeah, anything that's got food contamination in it is not recyclable.
Even though it's got a little symbol on the lid that says it's recyclable, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the tricky thing, yeah.
I mean, there are a number of ways that you can tackle the problem of contamination depending on what items you're serving. So if you're serving anything that is especially messy, a curry for example, it's really helpful if you're able to serve your food in 100% compostable packaging.
I think a lot of people would assume that every cut paper plate is compostable. Is that the case?
Paper plates have a waxy film. Some of them have a waxy film on them, so they're not able to be broken down easily, or everything is biodegradable. It's just the length of time that takes to break down, and the toxins that get released into our environment once they do break down. So that's the difference between compostable packaging is plant-based materials that are good for our environment that easily break down and don't release any harmful toxins.
If you're able to just think about the item of food that you're selling and what's the way you can have the least possible packaging for it, and then after that, for the packaging that you do have, what's the way that packaging can have the least possible impact on the environment. If you're selling a slice of pizza, then you don't need a plate, surely just a napkin is enough. If you have a biodegradable napkin, you don't need to worry about any food waste on it. It goes straight into the compost and that'll be fine. So examples like that, things where you just think if all the retailers, if all the stallholders are able to minimise their waste as much as possible, and especially the impact on the environment, then that would be really good.
And have you got any idea of how much rubbish was produced that would end up in the landfill from last year's school fair?
Well, I would think we would have had probably 3 to 4 wheelie bins worth of waste.
Yeah.
Big ones, big wheelie bins. So that's quite a lot really, and we definitely didn't like that at all.
So if we can get less than 3 wheelie bins to the landfill this year, it would be an improvement.
Oh, absolutely, but we definitely want to aim for half, if not more, I'd say.
Last year we had the baked potatoes in tin foil, whereas this year we've just roasted them with an oven tray on top instead of covering them in tin foil, and they seem to have worked well, just as good. And we've got them in chili bins and they're staying warm, and yeah, all good.
So you didn't need the tin foil?
Pretty much.
Kia ora Roma, kia ora Phoebe. So I understand that you organised some of the food for this stall here.
Yes, we organised candy floss.
So how do you feel about our attempt to go zero waste at the night market?
Fabulous. Good idea, really good idea. We did over 150 bags, and I think had it, all that plastic in the rubbish bin, not degrading, not good.
Yeah.
However, paper bags, paper cones, all biodegradable, good for the compost, good for the garden.
I was thinking people were going to get, going behind it, but no, everyone was happy. On the day, people just loved the fact that they were eating out of something that was going to go back into the ground and it was safe. They just loved it. There was nothing that was hard about it. It was just fine. I suppose for me it was just that research of finding the right places to go to get the stuff.
Yeah.
But again, it's just look on the web and people that you speak to, and they give you ideas of where to go. So yeah, it was really easy. Yeah, way easier than I thought.
Awesome, fantastic. Well, congratulations.
Thank you very much, and it's been great being part of it. It's been good opening our eyes up to the things we can do.
Yeah, and so will you do it again next time?
Absolutely. There's not going to be any waste anymore in our fairs. Absolutely.